Welcome back. Today we are doing lesson 2, intermediate level. The fly we're going to do is unconventional and is called the Booby. I think this fly is peculiar to the British Isles. I've never heard of it on any other magazines from America. The materials we'll be using will be marabou, which we've used before, cactus chenille, sometimes called fritz, and foam booby tube, which comes, as you can see, in a selection of colours, but I'll tell you more about that as we go along. So now let's crack on with it. We'll start by putting the tying silk onto the head, just to get us started. The head, you'll see, swivels around. The object of the exercise is to make that into 2 separate eyes on each side, hence the name the Booby. It looks like our friend Dolly Parton by the time we've finished. So we get a good bed of silk. That's something that the polythene or the foam will actually anchor onto. Gives a little, normally you give a touch of varnish, and once you've got the head put down, you would leave it to set for a while. For the purpose of the exercise, we can't really do that today, which makes it a little bit more difficult. The secret of a neat booby head is to keep the silk parallel to the hook all the time. Every now and again, bind it back and front to create an anchor. We're doing, as I say, we're doing it in orange today. The colours which you can use for making these boobies are only limited by your imagination. The actual booby tube, as I like to call it, comes in a selection of colours, like so. Pays your money and takes your choice. We're doing an all orange version today. I like to call it my whiskey booby, after the traditional bright orange whiskey fly. We tie in the tail in the normal way, as do the shuttlecock as we've had in the past. Don't forget to give a little loop under the tail. Just don't say it's 100% effective, but it does tend to stop the marabou twisting under the tail. Wet your finger ends and just trim off the ends. Now we can, as an alternative to leaving the marabou plain, you can use a little bit of what we call tail flash. This comes in packets like so. Leave the loop on the side and double it, so tie the loop end in where you want it first, and the 2 loose ends you can then direct the way you want them. Don't forget to take the loop out, otherwise you'll get all kinds of funny turbulence once it's in the water. And we put the chenille fritz, call it what you like, depends who it makes it as to what name they call it, but again, as I've stated in the past, tie it well in at the front, and that way you can give it a little bit of pressure when you're tying it on to get it nice and tight. Round, round, pull it back, 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 and then the last one Give a good tug, make sure it's nice and firm. And tie it down securely. Now what I would suggest at this point in time is you leave the dog end loose. Going to do a double half hitch. A little more difficult with a booby because you're almost flying blind trying to hit the eye. Give it 3, just do a belt and braces job. Turn it over. Sorry, pardon. There you have a finished booby. Once they're finished, what you need to do, or is recommended, you just clip around the edges, take the straight edge off it, do it on both sides exactly the same. I'm restricted to it on the vise. If I take it, I normally do this by holding it in the fly in my hand and doing it. The idea is just to take the edges off, otherwise they say, I've never experienced it, but the fly will spin in the water as you retrieve it if you don't take that off. All it needs now is a coat of varnish and it's a finished fly. One booby. That fly should give you a great deal of pleasure, and the rainbows particularly love them. And that brings us to the end of intermediate lesson number 2, the booby. This fly is a very unconventional fly and is used mainly on still waters in conjunction with a fast sinking line. It has been very popular for rainbows, not so much for brownies, and has even been known to nobble the occasional pike. But if you want to know more about fishing it, I would suggest that you consult the regular fishing magazines. Until the next time, from Cammiss and the team, happy fishing.